Good morning, Room 32. Today I'd like to take some time to share with you our lesson, which is Module 12.6, and the title is Angles, Comparing Using Non-Standard Units. All right? Now, first thing I'd like to do is we have some pattern blocks here on our screen, and I'd like to look at these and examine them. So, uh, when you look at each of these blocks, um, notice that they're blocks you're familiar with. These are blocks that are pattern blocks, correct? And what names do each of these faces have? All right. So they have faces. If we look here, there's a face, and there's a face, and there's a face. Okay. Those are the sides, right? And these are the faces. Okay. Now, do some faces have things in common? Well, if we look at them, if they have four sides, like this one here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so when we look at these shapes that I've just numbered, you can see that they are having four sides, and so those are called what? Quadrilaterals. Okay, quadrilaterals are shapes that have four sides. Now, I want you to take a look at this figure right here. All right, so what do we call the figure that has six sides? Well, the name for that is going to be hexagon. So I want to write these two names here that we just discussed. So first of all, we have the word, we got to change our font here. So we have a weird font going on. Okay, first of all, we have, well, let me get that just a little bit bigger here. All right, let's try this again. So we have the oops, got an I in there. Quadrilateral. All right. That's our side at four sides. And then we have this one here with six sides called a hexagon. All right. So a hexagon that is common with our pattern blocks looks like this. Can you think of a different kind of hexagon? What if we want to draw a different hexagon? Well, let's see. If we drew a hexagon, that's not what we're looking for here. If we drew a hexagon that was like this, and 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 like this. Did you know this is also a hexagon? Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, you might have not thought that was a hexagon because you're used to what is most common, like the pattern block for a hexagon. But yes, this is a hexagon too. Could you make a different hexagon? Sure. Could we make a hexagon that looks like this? Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so there's two other hexagons. Now, today we are going to be identifying a vertex. All right, so let's go back here to our previous slide. And I want to look specifically at the triangle. Okay, so we're taking a peek at the triangle right now. Now, when we look at a triangle, we want to identify a vertex, which is the corner. Okay. So this is called an equilateral triangle. Let's put that word up here for you to see as a vocabulary word. Okay. Equal lateral. I'll make sure I spell this right. Lateral triangle. All right. So that's called an equilateral triangle. Get my mouse here. Okay. So why is it called equilateral? Well, it's called equilateral because all the sides are the same. Now, if we look here where two sides meet, okay, that's going to be called a vertex. So, how many vertices? Notice I just went to the plural form. Vertex is singular, vertices is plural. Okay, I want to write those vocabulary words down here for you so that you have those to see and think about. So we got vertex, vertices. Okay, so when we talk about a vertex, this would be a vertex, right? When we talk about vertices, it would refer to each one of these, right? All right. So all three of those, two or more would be vertices. One would be a vertex, correct? Now, the term vertex is formally introduced in our next lesson. Um, we're going to go ahead now and move on to doing some other examples of our learning. Give me just one moment. All right. So, um, when we look here, can we trace these? Can we trace on our piece of paper at home? If you have a piece of paper, can you trace around two joined sides on to paper? So let's say we traced. Hang on one second. So hang on one second. Let's try this again. Okay. So two joined sides. All right. So what do you notice about this corner and the opening between the sides? Any observations about that? Okay, so we have two sides that are connected and two sides that are open. Okay, what do you notice about the other part, the other corners of the block? So let's say we complete this out, right? I didn't quite want those to intersect like that. There we go. Okay, so if we look here, there are three different sides that are connecting at points. And at those points, those are called vertices, right? Each of those points make a vertex. And we have three vertices, right? So um, let's say we will call this amount of opening a so when we talk about you go here. Okay. So this opening here, all right? This opening, when we look at that and we see that space, we call this amount of opening, let's call it the green corner. Okay. What are some corners in this room that have the same amount of opening as a green corner? Okay. Can you find anything like that in your house? Can you find an opening similar to that? Okay. What if we go ahead and we do this shape right here? Okay. Can you find an opening like that in your house? That's probably pretty easy, right? Just go to your wall in your room where two corners meet. Do you see that same opening? All right. Now, if you want to look around a little bit in your house, go ahead and do that. See if you can find similarities to those. Now, what about if we look at a hexagon? Okay. Or we look at a square. Okay. And we have the triangle. Okay. So think about each of these and ask yourself, can you find an opening that looks like that, looks like that, or that looks like that around your house? Take some time to look at it for a moment, all right? Now, which corner has the greatest opening between the sides? All right? Well, if we look at a hexagon, like this one, for example, this one, these are a little more closed. This one is more open, right? And over here, this one's a little more open. This one's a little more closed. These ones are all the same, correct? These ones have the same amount of opening. Now, let's jump into our lesson. I just wanted to use this because there weren't any slides today. So let me go ahead and move over to our lesson, to our journal page. Now, let me go ahead and let me see here. Let's go to a single page and let's take a look here at this top portion, our step in. Okay, so it says, look at the amount of openings between the two shaded sides of the shape on the left below. Okay, compare it to the amount of openings between the two shaded sides of the shape on the right below. Okay, which pair of sides has the greater amount of openings between them? Okay, when you look at those and you count them, what do you see? Okay, can you see that this one has one opening, two openings, three openings, four openings? This one has one opening, two openings, three openings, four openings, five openings. So the one on the right has more openings, right? Okay. Now, right here, it says color the corner green that matches a green pattern block corner. Color the corner orange that matches an orange pattern block counter. Color the corners yellow that match a yellow pattern block corner. Sorry guys, it's too early in the morning. I apologize. So you're gonna go ahead and get your colors here and you're gonna follow that, all right? So this one would be kind of like the green corner of a green pattern block, right? And this one would be kind of like that. Okay. And these ones here would be kind of like a yellow pattern block. Okay. So I want you to keep trying that on your own. You're going to ask you to do more of that in this activity. And then you're going to draw a hexagon with one corner that fits an orange pattern block. All right. So thanks, guys. Hope this was helpful today.